Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to dive back into my summer traveler's notebook that I've been working on. So I started this notebook a few months ago over on Patreon. I did a few layouts over there, and then I do have another video over here where we did a few more layouts, and I have, I think, roughly 12 or 13 pages left. It sounds like a lot, but they're so small. I feel like you can get them done really quickly. We do like 5 today. Anyways, I was hoping to get the rest of these completed over the summer. I kind of want this to be like spring and summer themed. That is the actual theme of the Traveler's Notebook, I'm pretty sure. This one's from Studio Calico, and it would be nice to just have it completed. So I decided that I would print off a few kind of random pictures from the last few months here and make a few layouts. So I did grab out a lot of the same products that I've been using throughout this Traveler's Notebook. Sometimes there's a few bits and bobs from my stash like that are close by that I can use as well, but like those acetate pieces, a lot of the embellishments that I'm going to be using, things like that, also came from Studio Calico. Whenever I purchased the Traveler's Notebook, like in one of those big Studio Calico sales, I also purchased a couple little, grab bags or some sort of little monthly kits that they had marked down really low. So I'm just trying to use a lot of those, like these stickers and things like that. I do have other things mixed in, like I said, from my stash. Several things that you might recognize if you've been watching my Project Life videos. Some label stickers, both that are empty and some that have sentiments in them from Ellie Studio. Also a few things from Feed Your Craft, just randomness. So as I was like chit-chatting through that one, I just decided that the page that I just made was more like an intro page. I used one selfie of me, and then I did the big 2024, those big square or rectangle like typed black and white letters that I use. Those are from, or I use numbers that time, but they have letters and numbers. Those are from Ellie Studio. So I just wanted some sort of title page. Now I pull out this picture here of me with my bestie Casey and her 2 girls like numerous times, but I don't actually end up using this one. I did just stash it inside the notebook so that I can use it next time. I would still love to make a layout with this picture, but I just didn't get to it this time. So as I'm flipping through the notebook, though, you'll notice that it is one of these notebooks from Studio Calico. I have to say, if I'm reviewing it, it is mediocre. It doesn't seem like it's a very well-made album, honestly. The cover is the same thickness, the same, just paper, just a complete paper cover. So it is very delicate, and a lot of the papers, I mean, they're very thin, which I don't personally mind because the bulkier the Traveler's Notebook gets, the more difficult it is to work out of. But I wouldn't say it's the best Traveler's Notebook I've ever used. But what I do like is that some of the pages are already there for you. They already have patterned papers. They already have colored papers. And I just think it makes creating the spreads way easier. So as I was kind of trying to flip through and figure out what I wanted to do here, I've printed off all my pictures beforehand, of course, so I have sort of an idea. So I have these 3 pictures that I printed off kind of more like rectangles. I think they were maybe a 2.2 by 3 or some sort of random size like that. So I printed these off, and all 3 of these are of me and Will when we went to Chattanooga to visit his family. And this was the day that we went to Lookout Mountain and rode the what do you call it? The little train. I forget what it's called now, but we did all that kind of like sightseeing, adventure-y kind of stuff. So I thought that it would be cute to have these 3 pictures on one side of the spread. And whenever I flipped over to this blue spread, I knew that this would be perfect since our pictures were outdoors and they had a lot of blues and greens. So you may have noticed before I was messing around with all these ampersands that I had. Those are from Allie Edwards' Week in the Life kit, or one of the add-ons that I got this year. And I have a ton of them. I didn't really use them throughout Week in the Life. So I popped one of those on. They're really nice. They're like pleather, and they have adhesive on one side. I'm using those same alphas from Ellie Studio, you can see, and I put me and you. I really like the way that looks really bold on that side, and I love the photos on the opposite side of the spread. Adding in a few other embellishments here and there. I know I'm going to add a Feed Your Crafts sticker as well, but I think I come back and add it. So I really like the way that that one turned out. So you can also see that I'm totally flip-flopping throughout this album. All of the dates are random. Like I said before, I want it to be like a spring, summer album, but I don't care if it's like in chronological order or anything like that. So as I was flipping before, I noticed this spread that has that really pretty kind of abstract design over there on the left side. So I thought this one would look nice with these two photos. So the two kind of vellum-y pieces that I just added on, they're almost like Polaroid backs. And so those are also from Ali Edwards' Week in the Life. And I also did not use those. So I thought that those would be a nice like textural element. So I just added a little bit of adhesive and then popped my photos on top of it. And then of course, I'm just kind of going through all the embellishments, adding bits and pieces, trying to use up the acetate hearts throughout all of these spreads. I had a ton of them. I must have got a couple acetate packs, and they are kind of hard to use, something I don't think of using that much like in everyday scrapbooking. So I thought, well, while I have them out, I'm going to try to use them everywhere that I can. I also had a few random tiny phrase stickers, so I'm adding those on as well. And then I knew that over here on the left side, I wanted some sort of journaling card. I did just pull out a few random journaling cards from my stash. And this is one from Ellie's Studio that says today's story. So I thought that that looked nice. So then I'm going to talk about my photos, which these pictures will actually be in my upcoming Project Life spread. But these are of me with my bestie, Casey, her little girl, Mickey. She's 3 months old now, and she's just so precious. So I love that I was able to visit them and get these great photos. So you'll see I also added a little bit of washi down to the bottom. I wanted something that was subtle, but there was a like a staple, the back of the staple from the previous layout. Now I'm just stapling freely. You're going to notice that as we go, but I always try to just cover it up on the other side, either with my cards or my photos. And so far it's worked out perfectly. I haven't had any backs of staples that have shown or anything like that. So it's all worked out nicely. I'm going to add another acetate heart. Sometimes I'll add a little bit, just a very small amount of adhesive whenever I can't staple. So for instance, that one that I just put on that was red, it would staple into my previous layout. So that works out. Here's where I add that Feed Your Craft sticker that was really perfect. It says look, discover, and observe with the binoculars. And I thought that that was really perfect because we were like at a big viewpoint where you could see like the whole city. So I thought that was kind of cool. So the next one we're going to be working on are all of these beautiful flower photos. So these, again, were taken a couple months ago. So I had those in Project Life as well. And so I have a few pictures here from flowers that were purchased from the store, and also some daylilies that my dad had planted out in the yard. And I love having flower pictures. So I printed these off at a 2x2. I knew I wanted to try to stretch them down the middle of the spread. And so I decided that I would use this double page spread here that was lighter, that was white, and where I could add all the color. On the left side, you'll notice that there was a watermelon, but I just felt like I wasn't going to really have any photos that could really go with that image. So I thought I'm going to use this spread and just cover that up. And I knew that that little image there would be easy to cover up with a couple 3x4 cards. So that's what I'm going to do after I get my pictures adhered down. So it's been really fun working in this traveler's notebook. I've got to admit, I'm not like a super traveler's notebook girly. I find them hard to work out of because there is no binder rings. And I think that that's just so much easier. So if I was really fully committing to some kind of big album, I would definitely rather choose a Life Crafted album that has the binder rings. I love those. And it's practically the same size, if not the same size as the Traveler's Notebook. That's just more my style. I was trying to just branch out and try something new. Of course, I've done Traveler's Notebooks before, but it's just not my go-to thing. But since I have this one and it is not completed, I really like to have little completed projects. So I would love to just finish it up and then be able to add it into my basket or bin with all of my other mini albums. So that is the plan. And it's been fun to work in, but I definitely wouldn't like keep it going every month or anything. It was just kind of a little bit of an experiment here for something different. So I did add on my 3x4 cards. I found one that had the nice little quote on it, so I thought that that was perfect. And then I'm using 3 of these other like acetate hearts that are a bit of a different, the other ones are kind of longer, kind of more wonky hearts. These are more like precise, fatter hearts. So I added 3 of those. I do really like these because they have like the sky in the background. And then since I used a little bit of adhesive and you could see through it, I added 3 little puffy stickers that also came from LA Studio. Then I wanted to just kind of build up the cluster. So I'm adding a couple of these labels from LA Studio as well. I might have just said puffy stickers from LA Studio. Those are definitely from Studio Calico, but you guys get the idea. So then I'm just using one of my roller stamps that I had handy, and I'm popping that in all over these spreads. I used that multiple times. I also forgot that I really wanted to use this circle. This is Get Outside, because these are photos of the outside world. So I was able to kind of feel on the previous spread, and I could pop up a part of the embellishment that I had there, and I was still able to staple just underneath the other embellishment. So that worked out nicely as well. And then I finished up that spread super easy, and I think that it looks really nice and cute. Then here we're going to try to finish this up. I have 2 other pictures I was thinking about doing. This one of me and Penny, and then also that other selfie that you guys keep seeing. But again, I'm going to save that selfie for the next video. But I decided to use this one of me and Penny, or just of Penny, because I loved the side with the pattern. I thought that that worked nicely with this photo. So you guys might have seen this picture around on Instagram. I did do an LA Studio larger layout with this photo for my Project Life, but it's so cute. I tried to do a little photo shoot with her a couple months ago. So that's just a 3x4 photo, and I thought that I would just kind of start to build up this right side of the page with my picture. So I added a 3x4 card. I'm adding another one of those hearts there. I was able to staple it onto the photo. So again, it didn't staple into the previous layout. I added a sticker, but I am going to remove that here in just a second. I just felt like that wasn't the vibe I wanted to go for. And I wanted to kind of just build everything throughout the middle of the spread, so you're going to see that as I go. I found this cute little sticker on one of the Studio Calico sticker sheets. This says "Savoring These Summer Moments," which I thought was pretty cute as well. So at this point, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I had all of these hearts in front of me, so I decided to use all of those more like precise, fatter hearts, which honestly aren't my favorite. I like the wonky ones more. So I was like, okay, how many of these do I have? Maybe I can just put these all down the middle of this spread. And then I had one of those other sentiments, also acetate, that said "Sweet Summer." So that worked as well. So I got them ready, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna like staple these into place. So this is the one where I really went kind of crazy with the staples. There's obviously not a spread on the opposite side, and it's one of my least favorite spreads in the whole book. One side of it is black and white striped. The other side is basically like a big journaling card. So I actually might just adhere those 2 pages together and not even worry about those, since there's like 100 staples there and everything. So we might be doing that in the next video. We will see. So you can see that I just stapled them all down. I think it looks really cute. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but I was able to use up a ton of them. I did bring in some random colors like reds and yellows and everything. There's a couple bright colors on that picture of Penny with the flowers. I don't think there's any red, but we just bring it on in there. And then to bring red into the opposite side with the photo of Penny, I do add this light red label. And then I'm going to add one other little Feed Your Craft sticker that says "Love" down at the bottom to just kind of bring in the color. And that ends up working out good enough for me. So now I'm just going to give you a quick flip through of all of the pages that we worked on today. It feels so good to have so many of these completed. I love working in a traveler's notebook when I just want to be creative for a minute, do something quick and easy, and it is super fun. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this process video. If you did, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And of course, I will be back at you super soon with another video. So I'll talk to you later, friends. Bye, y'all.